Hello, I'm Toycat, and have you ever heard the phrase, that's just the tip of the iceberg? This is a great way to explain that it's just the surface layer of something, and a lot of conspiracy theories recruit people by giving very real facts, then by slowly descending into pretty real facts that sound kind of conspiracy-like, before diving into the very conspiracy-founding, very much conspiracy facts. And my favorite thing is that someone took one of these iceberg images, and they did it for Super Mario 64, and all the rumors about that game, well, even better than Super Mario 64, today I have a Minecraft iceberg. This was posted by someone called MC_iceberg. They made the account 5 months ago just to post about this iceberg and then never said anything again, so I figured today might be a great opportunity to try and explain away the Minecraft iceberg, because I've heard so many of these so often, and everyone's heard Herobrine, for example. It's Minecraft's most famous rumor. Did you know there is a character in the game? He's hidden away when you don't expect him, and whenever anything goes wrong in your world, it's because you've actually been griefed by Herobrine. There even is a Herobrine skin in one of the console edition skin packs. That's how officially recognized this is. It's also removed in every update, so basically this is a joke that even the Minecraft studio put out, or did put out for a while. We also have Disc 11, another very creepy sounding thing that you almost don't believe till you play it in game, but there is a disc in the game that just plays like this. It's incredibly weird to say the least. I don't know why the footsteps are in there. Again, it seems like something weird and creepy is going on, and it shows that very early in Minecraft, they were down to just put super creepy, weird stuff to kind of lead you down some weird rabbit holes. Well, speaking of rabbit holes, the Notch Temple. This is a simple enough thing. It is a temple designed to look like Notch's face. For some reason, it's one of the most popular Minecraft maps I've ever seen. It's been ported to every platform under the sun. I don't understand its popularity, and the fact that it's so widespread might be something you find interesting. We also have Easter eggs that are officially inside of Minecraft. So did you know when you name a animal Dinnerbone, it will actually flip upside down? When you name a sheep Jeb, it will go rainbow color. And weirdly enough, if you name a rabbit Toast with a capital T, it will start to look like this rabbit, which is apparently someone's girlfriend's lost rabbit. And so Minecraft developer The Mogminer heard about this story. It was so sad to him that he decided to put Toast in the game, meaning that the rabbit is long dead in real life, but you can have a dead rabbit's look-alike in Minecraft by naming it Toast. Again, that sounds fake, but it very much is real. It's at the tip of the iceberg, if you will. Also in that same bracket, I would say, is Minecraft. Again, sounds incredibly fake, but 1 in every 10,000 times that you load up Minecraft on the Java edition, instead of saying Minecraft, it will say Minecraft. Why is that in there? Just for fun. I think it's very enjoyable. It's a reference to some YouTubers a long time ago, but again, sounds fake, very much is real. Dog is an interesting one because obviously there is a Minecraft disc called Cat, and there is not a Minecraft disc called Dog, but if you play the console editions exclusively, then Cat will play, and then after Cat's finished, Dog will play. Dog is another song by C418. Why is it only featured at the end of Cat, only inside of the Minecraft console editions? Again, kind of lost to time as to why that is. Next up here, we have the Farlands. Once you get to 12,550,820 blocks in any direction, the terrain starts to glitch out. This stopped happening as of beta 1.8 in Minecraft Java, and it still happens in Minecraft Bedrock to this day because of floating point errors, basically. Terrain just can't generate in any logical way anymore. It's pretty crazy to look at. I think it's astounding, and it's very interesting. Also, we have Entity 303. So Herobrine is such a widespread myth at this point. It's so widely known about that a lot of people kind of made up their own rumor called Entity 303. It's this entity in the game files that is so broken and will break your Minecraft save. Again, it's fake, but it's so widespread as fake that you might start to see how these sorts of rumors appear. Also, creepers being based on a real plant is something I haven't heard of, but I believe creepers kind of look like bushes. Maybe they're meant to be explosive bushes in Minecraft to remind you that, you know, we're trying to protect the environment so much, but is the environment trying to protect us? I think the environment is literally trying to blow up my house. Obviously, no one's saying that besides me, but I'm saying that, and I'd like it to be known. So Steve posting was done by Mojang is another interesting sounding one because yeah, again, Steve posting is the concept of like saying Steve should be in Smash. It was a really, really, really big thing. You heard it all the time. Both Nintendo and Minecraft fans were just saying it non-stop in response to everything. And the conspiracy theory here, because it was so widespread, widespread was, what if Mojang wanted Steven Smash as like some cross promo, but they didn't want to just talk to Nintendo? How to even do that? So what they did instead is they started an internet campaign. That's possible. I don't believe that it is. But for now, we're at the tip, the place where all the widely shared theories go, such as the Nether portal in the tutorial logo. That's right. Have you ever seen Minecraft's tutorial? Again, very nostalgic to look at. There was a Nether portal inside of there, specifically in TU3, if I'm not mistaken, through to like TU5. Again, very small little secret, but it's one that I enjoy. So next up, we've got the iceberg itself. We're no longer at the tip. We're starting to descend into the iceberg and find some weird things like, did you know there is a void below the overworld? There is a bedrock layer that you can't get below in survival, but if it breaks, or if you go into creative, you fall below the overworld, and instead of finding the Nether, you find a deep, empty void. A void that suffocates you to death. Again, kind of intense if you ask me. Hidden achievements are really interesting because Minecraft tells you about every achievement, except it doesn't tell you about every achievement. There's a secret one that is so insanely hard to get, and without the internet, no one would believe it. It's one of those things that would just go on as a rumor forever. But if you get every single effect in Minecraft at the same time, you get the How Did We Get Here achievement on the Java edition. There are no hidden achievements for the console edition, but there is one for the Java edition, and it's so insanely hard to get that no one would get it in their right mind by accident, and that's why it's so interesting that it's there. It's a very, very, very niche achievement that sounds fake, but is real. And so what if there's more? If someone made one up, it wouldn't be impossible that you'd believe it. This is one of the things about conspiracy theories, right? They use things that sound kind of real, even though the things that are real sound like they're not. That's where hidden achievements are. That's also where the igloo basement is. 50% of igloos have a chance to have a basement below them. In that basement, there is a trapped zombie villager and a villager to kind of teach you how to make regular villagers. But again, when you show that off, it looks like some weird thing someone's built for a video. Nope, very much real. Same thing with the Nether reactor. The Nether reactor is the old equivalent of the Nether in Minecraft Pocket Edition. Minecraft Pocket Edition used to be very, very weak compared to any other version of Minecraft, and that included not having infinite worlds and not having any dimensions. So instead you had this Nether reactor, and when you set it up, it made a bunch of netherrack around you and spawned in some zombie pigmen. Very bizarre, but very much a real feature, and the texture still exists inside Minecraft Bedrock to this day, which I find super strange. Gamemode 4 is a game mode that is obviously never mentioned. You can only spawn into Minecraft in survival and creative, but there's also adventure, but there's also a fourth game mode that is never accessible unless you use commands. Super spooky, right? No, actually now you have to type /gamemode spectator, and it's the ability to fly around in Minecraft like it's creative, but you can go through blocks as well. YouTubers use it for Snapshot and for just all sorts of videos all the time. It's very handy, and it doesn't exist on Bedrock. Again, one of those weird niche features that exists in just one part of the game, but hasn't even been referenced as coming to the other. So is very, very rarely acknowledged or improved. It just exists in a weird way. So gravel creepers are something that look very fake when you see them. Obviously, this was just a short-term Minecraft bug where the texture for the creeper wouldn't load in, so the gravel texture would show instead. But again, you've probably seen this image somewhere on the internet. It is technically real. Also, this is the weirdest one that is true. So this is the point where you have to trust me on this Minecraft iceberg, because Notch drops apples. If you kill someone in Minecraft that has the player name of Notch, it was hard-coded into the game that if you killed them, they would drop an apple in addition to their inventory. So killing someone with the name Notch was more valuable than killing anyone else. It's such a bizarre feature, and it's such a tiny thing too, like apples, seriously? But that was a real thing that would happen if you were to be on any multiplayer server and kill Notch. Why did he decide to do that for himself? I don't know. It's the sort of thing that leads you down the iceberg, and going slightly further down this iceberg, the title screen world, you might think that this is just like a generic background, but the background for this was actually found. The seed for it was found by SouthC1. I really hope I got the name for that correct and I'm not confusing him with somewhere else, but he's very talented at sharing these sorts of things with the community. And but collectively, thousands of people found that title screen back from the early beta or whatever. It's truly incredible, the founding they made there. Which actually, that now reminds me of what pack.png is, another one of these iceberg things. So pack.png is a file that shows, this like default world that they're trying to look for, like that title screen world. They haven't found it yet, but it looks like they're going to, which is one of those incredible accomplishments that is proving something that you wouldn't believe if you heard about it. Like, oh yeah, do you know those images they use in the background? Those are real worlds that have existed at some point in time. They are now finding those real worlds from those points in time and working out what seed they would have used to come up with that. Again, wacky stuff, and shows how big Minecraft is, that these weird quirks are being found as opposed to staying rumors forever. So zombie villages, there is a 2.5% chance if you're playing Java, and for whatever reason, something like 25% chance if you're playing Bedrock, for a village to be entirely abandoned, filled with zombies, overrun. Again, these zombies have taken it over. It's incredibly fake sounding again, like, yeah, I think you actually just found that this is something where the zombies have invaded. No, the village looks different. Zombies have invaded it. Sounds fake. Is real. And now you know, like a real example, when the more questionable ones come up later, you're more likely to get on board with them, huh? But we'll get to that later. We also have Killer Rabbit. So there used to be a rabbit in Minecraft. It was a reference to Monty Python. It was like a 1 in 10,000 chance that a rabbit would spawn in and just attack the player. They removed it because they decided, you know what, as funny as a killer rabbit is, just 1 in 10,000 players, new people, let's say they're children getting into the game for the first time, being attacked by rabbits is just such a funny thing to imagine. And with a install base of as many tens of millions, thousands of people would have been attacked by killer rabbits every day. It makes sense why they removed them, sort of, and it's one of those casualties of Minecraft's growth that they can't do weird random events that are that rare without realizing they'll affect a lot of people. So also here we have super secret settings. So yeah, there was the ability to have super secret settings. Besides having 3D vision, I forget what was actually in there, but there were super secret settings that allowed you to play with some things. Also, zombified piglin, green blood. The original texture for the zombified piglin had green blood all over it. They decided to tone it down because it was a bit too severe, but that was a thing. Also, Little Big Planet connection. This is a really weird one because there's two things this could be referring to, so I'll show them both, and maybe it's both of them combined. But basically, Minecraft's chirp music disc sounds like this. Whereas the Little Big Planet song from Little Big Planet 1 sounds like this. And you'll notice in those first 9 seconds for both of those songs, they're like, that's the same thing, right? Which one stole from which? And if it was chronology, it would be suspected that Little Big Planet stole from Minecraft. However, what actually happened is C418, the person who made the music for Minecraft, and whoever made the music for Little Big Planet, both got the sample from the same keyboard. And again, it's a very weird thing that both those games sound so similar, but it's just because they both came from the same root source. Also, Little Big Planet connection is in the form of Minecraft PlayStation 4 had an exclusive Little Big Planet mashup pack. It's a surprisingly fun thing, actually. I want to go back and play it. It's been so long, but they made Little Big Planet inside of Minecraft. So yeah, sounds weird, but is real. Just like the Never Chicken Jockey. And yeah, you can actually there is a 5% chance that a baby zombie, which is already a 5% chance of spawning, will spawn with a chicken nearby, and then there is a 5% chance if it's in the nether. Basically, it's an incredibly unlikely thing, but there is a real chance of finding this adorable little mob in the nether. I find that interesting. Maybe you also find it interesting when we get a little bit below the surface that Microsoft's buyout intentions were maybe not as pure as they said. Minecraft made a few things very clear about Minecraft. They want the game to last 100 years, and also when they first bought the game, they wanted to make it clear that crossplay was their big intention. And when they said crossplay, they implied all the editions would play with each other. What they actually meant is we're releasing a second PC edition, and we're releasing other console editions. Those brand new console editions, that brand new PC edition, Windows 10 Minecraft you might know it as, and Bedrock Minecraft you might know it as, would all be cross-playing with each other. Also, just before they made crossplay happen, when it was possible to happen, but before it was like released to the public, they added microtransactions to Minecraft Pocket Edition. So it's entirely possible. In fact, is it a conspiracy or is this just real? You can't be sure. It's in that borderline zone just below the iceberg. But Microsoft was intending to add microtransactions to Minecraft, but they couldn't add it to the existing game. So instead they made a brand new game called That Minecraft and added microtransactions to that before adding crossplay and making that the announcement. Again, seems a little conspiracy sounding, but like when you look at the events and you look at how many millions it's made them, is it a conspiracy or is that just how corporations work? That's up to you to decide. Speaking of the opposite of corporations, Notch's Twitter posts. So Notch sold Minecraft to Microsoft. Wow, is that why Microsoft's in charge now? And Notch has made a lot of Twitter posts since then, and a lot of them get very controversial, let's say the least. He's said repeatedly he's not a happy person. He's got billions, but he's not happy in spite of that. He's also made some tweets that are, I guess the word would be transphobic, and he also has gone a little bit down the conspiracy rabbit hole himself, which is why it's perfect that it's here in this part of the iceberg. Also, there was no removed Herobrine in the 1.16 changelog. Every Minecraft update used to say removed Herobrine. 1.16 does not say removed Herobrine, therefore, follow the logic here, Herobrine is in Minecraft 1.16. This is incredibly logical. It's not true. Obviously, what they did is they just stopped, keeping up the joke. They didn't want to contribute to this community phenomenon where people kind of like abused it and tried to terrify children. They figured, let's just stop doing this. And so they did. What they didn't stop doing, though, was Enderman backwards speech. Enderman speech, it actually makes sense when you play it backwards. They say a bunch of weird things like normal phrases like hello. But you play hello backwards quickly at a lot of speed and you get this noise. So, yeah, that's Enderman's speech patterns. It is a bit creepy, but I wouldn't say there's anything too conspiracy style to this. Zombie horses are a type of horse that exist in Minecraft only in command form. They were added to the creative menu in 1.14 if I'm not mistaken, but until 1.14 there was just this type of horse you could only get if you modded the game. Why was it that way? I don't know. Why do zombie horses not have a real use in the game? I don't know for sure. Every Minecraft update, I think this must be the one where they're finally going to use zombie horses, but it's not. Zombie horses are a creative and command-only horse that are a little bit strange like that, I guess. So MD3 models is one where you're going to have to trust that I'm not making things up. It really is on the iceberg, and this gameplay that you're watching, it looks so fake. How could this not be some terrible shitpost that someone made? But this is a real video posted by Notch on his real YouTube channel in 2009. He was showing off how you could play around with a new type of model. They were never going to be in actual Minecraft. This was just a demonstration of how he'd improved the modeling. But again, it's hard not to be like, huh, this is interesting, huh? Just like how chainmail used to be crafted from fire. I don't know why it was crafted from fire. I'm assuming it was just a way to make it basically uncraftable. But chainmail used to be crafted from fire. Don't even try to explain what that means. Basically, fire is a item you can hack into your inventory, and if you hacked fire into your inventory, you could have chainmail. So the Illusioner is another one of these mobs they added. It was in 1.11. It was going to be in the Woodland Mansion, and they just decided not to have it. It's a illager, but instead of just using magic, or instead of just using a melee weapon, it uses ranged weapons, and it uses magic. It's a really cool thing, in my opinion. I like it. So, unimplemented ocean beasts. I'm assuming that's referring to the ocean, the monster of the seas or whatever, the mob vote that happened in 2017. I'm guessing that it's that based on the fact that just below it there's the Hovering Inferno. So the Hovering Inferno was Mob D, the fiery mob that would have been in the Nether. It was going to be like a Mega Blaze. It wasn't voted on at Minecon Earth, and so they said they're never going to add it to the game. However, despite saying they're never going to add it to the game, it did show up in Minecraft Dungeons recently in that Nether update. So I think that's a weird little coincidence. Maybe you agree with me. Or maybe you think that, this is a weird one here, Missing No Splash. Missing No is a Pokemon like oddity, where because if you went to a certain part of the seed by glitching out the numbers, you'd get this missing number Pokemon, because there was 151 Pokemon in those original games, and if you had any number that wasn't 151 as the Pokemon number, then it would glitch in and say missing no, and you could try and catch these, but they would break all your save files. It was a really weird thing, and there's a missing no splash, so maybe there's a connection to Minecraft with that, huh? What's the deal with that? So we also have here, End Dimension is an asteroid belt. I mean, if you think about it, this is one of my favorite theories. The end is not like some weird heavenly dimension, it's space. The main end island is the moon or a planet or something, and the outer islands, they look a lot like asteroid belts, don't they? I'm just saying, they look like it. We can't confirm or deny, but it does seem suspicious. Maybe the end is actually space. Also, the demo version of Minecraft is a real thing that exists. You can play Minecraft for up to 100 minutes. Every time you hit 100 minutes, you have to either pay or you delete your save and you can start again. It's a really good way to trial the game, in my opinion, and I think it's a shame that more people don't, recommend it and share it, but the demo does exist. Also, modders are working for Mojang. This sounds conspiracy filling, but it's just true. People who worked on Minecraft mods became real developers, including the aforementioned Mogminer. He used to be a modder. Now he makes Candy Crush, which I think is a funny progression. Also, King B Dogs is obviously another modder. So many other examples that I can't name right here, but people who made Minecraft mods now make Minecraft. It seems pretty weird that they'd hire so many of those people. Maybe that brings us into the next layer of the iceberg. Now we're getting pretty deep down there, because what if creepers were intentional? What if they were added to the game on purpose? What if the whole story we've heard before is a lie? I mean, it doesn't make too much sense that the pig's legs would spawn in the wrong place and they'd really mess up the body. I mean, the idea of making them explode, all of that seems a bit too much. Maybe the story we've all heard about the creeper just being a wrongly shaped, pig is actually just a cover-up to explain one of the most annoying mobs. It's possibly true. It's also possibly true that Minecraft is actually set in a post-apocalyptic future. So I don't want to take too much credit for this, but I'm going to take credit because, as best I know, I was the first person to posit this theory on YouTube. I made a video about 2013 now that was like, when is Minecraft? And Minecraft seems like it's super prehistoric looking at the game, but if you take a closer look, based on all of the weird things that exist and the very tiny number of humans, it could be a post-apocalyptic future. Nukes hit the earth and turn most people into zombies and skeletons, and the only remaining survivors live in very, very backwards villages because society just hasn't progressed since. That would explain why all of the terrain is shifted in a way that makes no sense compared to the real world, and it's my personal favorite theory. Again, there's nothing to back up that it's true or false. It's just a thing that exists. It's just a fact that complicates things when you throw it out there. Just like shadow seeds. Minecraft has 18 quintillion different seeds, right? And they're all distinct and they should all be entirely different, but there is something called shadow seeds. Every seed has a second seed that is a shadow seed that's exactly the same, just with a few minor details altered. And I'm not talking like, oh yeah, it's entirely different here. It's like every seed's shadow seed will have a different stronghold placement, but everything else is exactly the same. This is very, very common on the Java version. On Bedrock, it's, again, the science is not there yet. We haven't gone that far, but every seed has a secondary seed that is similar but different in just one aspect, and that's probably it sounds conspiracy sounding, but it's just probably because of the fact that the way the seed works out is it's a bunch of binary numbers. One of those numbers represents where strongholds spawn, and then changing just one of them changes things. That's my guess as to why there are shadow seeds. Brick pyramids. Again, this structure looks really fake, looks really bad, looks like a weird copy-pasta image made by someone who, let's be honest, wasn't very creative. But that someone who wasn't very creative was Notch. This was a real structure in Minecraft for a very short period of time, and they were absolutely huge. An amount of huge where I don't even know what the point of them existing was, but they did exist. They were entirely solid and filled with brick. Why were they there? That's that's something I can't tell you. What I can tell you, though, is about the negative aura that comes from one of the music discs, because we spoke about 11 and its creepiness, and it's kind of deliberately creepy, but 13 is a not so... It doesn't seem like it was deliberately meant to be a fun joke. Instead, this is a music track that just gives off a bad aura. You just feel bad when you listen to it. This is a very, very commonly shared feeling if you look it up online. And if you think that if you think that you can be happy doing anything in Minecraft, try playing the 13 music disc and see if you still agree. Actually, you might be unhappy listening to it, but parrots they bob to it. They're just the same as every other music disc, which is maybe more creepy than anything else. Anyway, there are monsters nearby is the next one here. I'm guessing that this is something that exists because when you try to go to sleep, it says you may not sleep. There are monsters nearby. Sometimes there aren't monsters nearby. Pretty creepy. I don't know if there's anything more to this. Netherrack is made of flesh is a theory because when you walk on Netherrack, it makes noises that sound like this. And it just sounds like you're stepping on some wet meat, perhaps you could say. Maybe the Netherrack is made from wet meat. Maybe the entire dimension is actually some horrific, Eldritchian horror where it's actually made from bodies, and that's why it's a terrifying dimension. Who knows from sure. Also, dolphin animal cruelty is in here because dolphins were originally going to be rideable, or at the very least, like, you could tag onto them and they'd grab you. But because Minecraft didn't want to encourage animal cruelty, they decided never to add it. It's one of those weird sounding facts because are you really going to go and punch a dolphin in real life because you can ride it in Minecraft? Apparently, Minecraft decided you might. So the next layer here is starting to get really weird. We have things like 72 DACA accounts. So in Minecraft, every username is limited to one person. Sometimes two people can get the same username if they make their accounts at exactly the same time. There's a few instances of this happening, but it's very, very, very rare. Most of Minecraft's 30 million Java players have different usernames. However, there were 72 accounts with the username DAQA spelt like that. And that seems really bizarre, does it not? If it was going to be, a name that a lot of people went for at the exact same moment, it might make sense there was a name like Andrew or as a name like Steve. But 72 people signed up for DACA at the same time? I don't think so. I think something's going on here. And what is it? Most likely, it's never been cleared up, but now when you search DACA, the accounts have been renamed. I assume DAQA was like developer quality assurance, or like developer account for quality assurance, developer quality account assurance. That would be my guess. But again, it's only guesses. It's never been confirmed. Just like the fact that in April the 1st, Snapshot last year, there was a file called air.ogg, and it didn't have any audio to it. It was an OGG, which is an audio file, but there was no sound that played from it. It was likely this was a hint because it was from the April Fool's snapshot to do with one of the dimensions, but there is a file with no noise to it. Very creepy, and I'm sure you can find some creepy story about what it's really doing there. But again, it's most likely there, something to do with the spectrogram. But if you are conspiracy-minded, maybe you'll think that Pocket Edition is tracking you, because isn't it weird that Minecraft Pocket Edition, because Android asks you for your permission to do things, it tracks a surprising amount of data about you, and therefore maybe Microsoft bought Mojang just so they could track you via the Pocket Edition. Most likely this is actually shoddy coding and they accidentally had to ask permissions they didn't need, but it seems weird that Minecraft would need to know where I was, don't you think? You probably also think that Soul Sand's texture is a bit weird. Do you see all of those souls that are trapped in this sand? Seems very bizarre. All the souls of the Minecraft universe get trapped in this sand block. This is actually something that again was confirmed in 1.16 basically. Now when you walk over them with the soul speed boots, they make a weird soul noise and there's a little texture that comes out of it. It's very fun in my opinion. We have a lot of other ones that I don't know about. The hidden texture pack, Steve is a god. I mean, I guess he is a god relative to the world. His body weight makes no sense, etc. We have N Skybox Origins. Steve's old hurt sound is genuine. They recorded someone getting hurt and that's how they did it, huh? Or maybe they're saying, you know what? Steve's old hurt sound sounded like it really hurt. Every time you hurt Steve in Minecraft, someone was really feeling pain. They had sentience inside this game because it's so well developed that he got hurt. Again, I don't know it for sure. What I do know for sure is the enchantment table language. When you try to enchant in Minecraft, you get this weird gibberish that comes up and you don't know what's going to happen for most of the enchantments. But if you do read that enchantment language and like try to convert it, if you're a big fan of languages, you'll actually spot that it corresponds to the hitchhiker Guide for the Galaxy, like International Alphabet or something like that, and therefore there is actually a language you can understand. It's just, even when you convert it to that language, it doesn't make much sense. They just say basic words over and over again that don't correlate perfectly with the enchantments. We also have here someone in the game files. We have Minecraft post-credits, do not watch, another creepypasta. Honestly, this is the one that's filled with the most random things that they're just throwing at the wall here, like the devil. What if the devil exists in Minecraft? But one of these is real. If you look at Steve early texture, if I show you this and said this is how Steve was gonna look in the early days of Minecraft, you wouldn't believe me, but again, this is a real thing. They had an artist that was like used to making real games that weren't blocky, and he made this Minecraft logo, and then he made these Minecraft characters. Steve was genuinely going to look at like this at one point, and I think it would have killed a lot of the appeal of Minecraft if he had. So I'm glad that the Notch and the artist had a disagreement. I'm glad that this texture didn't become real, because it seems like some weird knockoff, but it was real. So now we go even deeper. We reach the bottom of the iceberg, and we find things like Infiniminer Origins. Infiniminer was one of the games that inspired Minecraft, and that game's community has never forgiven it for being so much more popular. Like, again, the core idea of Infiniminer is the same as in Minecraft, but people hate that the game is always compared to it, because Infiniminer inspired Minecraft and not the other way around. They got Cave Game closed beta. Cave Game was Minecraft's old name, and maybe there was a closed beta that exists out there. If it did exist, we wouldn't know about it. The files have been long lost to history. In fact, there are many versions of Minecraft, even some that were publicly distributed, that have never been found again. So maybe some of those early files, the closed beta, whether it was shared with friends, or even the ones just on Notch's PC, have been long deleted and are lost forever. The history of Minecraft's most successful game has been vanquished in a way that is actually kind of sad, in my opinion. Makes you wish that there was someone in charge that could control all of this, huh? So June 26, 2022, Hardware Killer. There's a rumor that Minecraft will kill your PC on June the 26th of 2022. It's kind of like Y2K, but inside Minecraft. Again, we're at the lair now where, like, I don't have much patience for these conspiracy theories. Like, who is Steve? Ooh, iWalker.bmp, a bitmap file that does some spooky stuff. Again, not too much going on here. High resolution textures. I can't say anything too interesting about this one. Hidden gore video in early versions. It's entirely possible in some of those lost early versions. There was some, whatever you want to imagine's in there. And given that Notch and QAnon have a little bit of a history, it's not surprising. So QAnon is a guy that posts, I want to say he claims to be in the military. It's a big right-wing conspiracy theory, or if you're a believer in it, it's a big right-wing truth that the rest of the world won't believe in. And Notch has supported, and he's tweeted his support for QAnon before, and he thinks that he's said at the very least that even if it's not real, he's saying real things or something along those lines. It's super interesting to see Notch go down the conspiracy rabbit hole. That's why this whole thing is kind of relevant, right? We also have unexplained version inconsistencies, and that one explains itself, I think. They're unexplained, and there are version inconsistencies, especially in the older versions of Minecraft. And now we go below the iceberg. Now we're in the really uncomfortable area where, you know what, it's probably nothing, but we should say it anyway. So Enderman Can See You is the creepiest thing, and I hate that I learned it because it makes me feel uncomfortable just knowing this. Did you know, if you drink an invisibility potion, nothing can affect you or attack you? You are actually invisible to most mobs until you attack them, except the Enderman. If you look at an Enderman while you're invisible, the Enderman can still see you. The Enderman can still sense it's being looked at, and it can come and attack you, which is very spooky. Is there an explanation? Is there a purpose? No. It's probably just that Minecraft forgot to focus on the Enderman, but it feels spooky. Marcus Wilton Twitter posts. So I feel uniquely qualified to answer this one. One of the Minecraft console YouTubers that got really big off the whole making videos specifically for children thing was someone called Lionmaker. His name was Marcus Wilton in real life, and he used to use Minecraft as a way to get young impressionable children into Skype calls, and then maybe he posted a video of one of those young impressionable children doing some very exposing poses, and he shared that publicly. He claimed he was hacked, but like, let's not comment on the area around it, but let's just say that a Minecraft YouTuber did post actual child nudity on the internet, and he's long been deleted on YouTube as a result of that, because that is a crime in I don't think in every jurisdiction. And so, yeah, it's one of those things that you wish wasn't true. You wish this was one of those weird things. And in reality, it's like an incredibly mentally ill man that was given a lot of power over children. And that's one of the reasons why, even though there are some really good people making child-friendly videos, I always keep a step back, and I always deliberately make sure that I warn people against being too far into that and letting people they know go too far into that. Because it's terrible. It's terrible. And you know what else is terrible? Don't rip textures. There is a rumor that if you rip the textures from Minecraft, it'll break something. Yeah, that's a thing. Also, Enderman Darker Origin. Enderman, the idea for Dark Origin is maybe, one of these creepy theories. What if they are actually servants of whoever created the world in the first place? Spooky. That's why they pick up blocks randomly, because they have no programming, but they're just muscle memory, pick up blocks, move them around. Yeah, this theory is backed up by Minecraft Story Mode, where a bunch of them get together and do actually build some real things. So, I think we've lowered the mood a bit too much. This is meant to be conspiracy theories. We ended up on the worst side of Minecraft as a game. And again, some of those things were real. Notch and QAnon, the incredibly twisted Minecraft YouTuber. There is some truth to some of the weird conspiracies, and I think, this Iceberg, I like it just as a way to talk about some of the weird rumors about a game. Like, all of these things, obviously I've just heard about because I've played Minecraft so long, and I figured it'd be interesting to share some of the weird quirks of Minecraft's history with all of you. But also, it's a reminder, I guess, that, like, every conspiracy works the same way. Like, they say a lot of facts that are vaguely true, and then they mix them with facts that aren't so true, and then every now and then they give you a fact that's really not true. There's a lot of examples of this in the real world, and it's really easy to get people down the conspiracy pipeline with this. I could give a bunch of examples, and I'd love to do that perhaps sometime in the future. But for now, I just want to say I hope you all enjoyed the Minecraft Iceberg, because I did not. I thought it was interesting enough, and I hope you enjoyed it enough to maybe give me a like or subscribe to the channel, where we can talk about the realness of certain conspiracy theories, because it's a topic I find very interesting, but maybe you do too. And at some point in the future, we'll have to do a video where we talk about that. But for now, thank you for watching. Goodbye.